Hello one and all, and welcome to Behind the Glass, your weekly automotive podcast hosted by two rather uninformed enthusiasts.
No.
I'm Sam from the YouTube channel Seen Through Glass.
I'm Tony from Gravelwood Car Sales.
And you can watch us each week. We hope you enjoy the episode. Well, everyone at home, welcome to a podcast with a difference. If you are listening, you may hear the tweeting of birds, the gushing of water, the revving of Lamborghinis.
The laughing of people.
Oh, well, there's no guarantees there.
Well, I've already got two.
Tony's excited because we have a live audience because, yes, if you're watching us here on YouTube, you'll notice we're not in the studio. We're actually on the terrace of a beautiful hotel in Porto, Portugal, because you are joining us at towards the end of the first trial BTG tour.
Similar to your family home, this, isn't it? A little bit.
It's a bit smaller than my family home, this actually. This is what we would call the staff.
Yeah, the study.
The staff. It is a massive, I don't know what, like 13th or 14th century home on the Douro River. It's a beautiful location. The hotel is called?
No idea.
Palacio do Freixo.
I've been here, but I'm not very good at hotels.
I'm sitting in a tree. So basically we're in this terrace. The resourcefulness of our guests this week meant that we were like, look, we'd love to do a podcast and we'd love you guys to, watch or listen, but we don't really know where to do it. And before I knew it, two of our guests had run off and dismantled a marquee that had been set up for the event that we're attending and appeared with a huge extension cable, which was fantastic, but has meant that, I'm sitting in a tree. Tony is kind of resting in a very sort of ostentatious way against a stone. I don't even know what that is.
Well, I haven't really got a choice, mate. I mean, the stone's like literally in my ribs.
Long story short,
we're not comfortable.
If you are listening, it is worth, after you listen to this episode, just go and have a quick look on YouTube at how ridiculous our situation is. But it has been a fantastic week. If you've been listening regularly or watching regularly, you'll know that we've been, hyping this up a little bit for the last month or so, and it's something we've been talking about for a while. Because, we felt like it was our calling, didn't we? We felt like after years of me going on adventures by myself, you going on adventures with your make-believe friends, we should do a trip where people could physically join us.
Absolutely, yeah. Like, what we've always said. You've been watching us forever. You've seen us do all this, talk about this, and do you know what? Why don't you come along?
Yeah, come get involved.
Come and get involved.
So 10 lunatics were mad enough to not only pay money, but also turn up and join us for this merry week through Portugal. I thought what we would do just at the beginning of this episode, because we do have a few other things to talk about, is kind of take you through some of the behind-the-scenes elements. There's, of course, a main channel video coming. Some of the things that happen on tour, stay on tour. We can't share everything with you. Some of the jokes are such in-jokes, you won't find it funny. If I said lobster roll, the entire group pisses themselves. See? None of you will know that I mean, and it's too long a story. It's not worth explaining. But I think what I would like to start with is, for me, this experience has been a great way to see how we actually work together very well. Obviously, we do this podcast together, but we don't tend to do much business together. Mm-hmm. Our businesses are very different. And what it's allowed is us to be not just yin and yang, but good cop, bad cop.
Yeah.
Shall we talk about our fight, or your near-death fight with the first hotel? This is letting our group in on a little bit of behind-the-scenes secrets.
What, the fire-breathing women that I thought were going to kill me?
Yes, so I'll set this up. Essentially, there was a thing that we had to debate. Not a big deal, but something that we weren't particularly happy with, something that caught us by surprise. And I saw for the first time Tony go into rock hard businessman mode.
I'm not having this, I said.
Basically said,
this ain't on.
My line that I like the most, it leaves a very sour taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
All I'm going to say is it leaves a very sour taste in my mouth. That's where we started. Yeah. The manager was called because Tony was being quite so abrasive. By the way, this is the whole thing, he plays hard man, I play good man. I came in late. Yeah, I'm Mr. Denard. You kept saying partner, and it's 2024, so I had to say business partner, just to clarify. Because I was like, these days, you never quite know. So I came in.
It's fine, mate. I'm happy with my sexuality. We can do what we like.
No, but it was important to differentiate at that point.
Oh, wow.
If you were watching on YouTube, a mysterious male hand just came in and grabbed Tony's hand.
Do it again.
But anyway, long story short, you were definitely playing the hard man. I was playing the quiet man.
Yeah.
Things escalated pretty rapidly.
What, it was nearly a fight?
It was in the lobby of the hotel. It was a situation where the lovely lady from the hotel kept saying, Mr. Tony, Mr. Tony, Mr. Tony. Sour taste. So
I didn't quite say it like that. I think I was fairly diplomatic. But do you know what? As she wasn't listening to me, mate. So I had to stamp some sort of authority. You know?
The best part about it, which I like, which really shows your position and your wealth, is you kept saying, it's not about the money.
It's not.
It's not about, well, for me, it was about the money. Bloody hell. We were talking about quite a lot of money. Long story short, I came in, I sort of slightly translated, because I felt like there was something going on, miscommunication.
You can speak Portuguese?
No, but I can speak. There's going to be a big fight here. And I feel like I soothed the situation.
You did, yeah.
I think that was a good example of us.
I think so, yeah. I think we done a good job.
How did you find working with me?
All right, mate. It's no different. I knew it'd be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you not think it was better than I thought it was? Like, I enjoy it because I don't work with anyone.
No, nor do I.
But you have Sam. Like you're used to
Yeah,
buying
yeah.
and selling.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know. I liked our dynamic, and I feel like you're kind of poo-pooing it a bit now.
No, because
I was all
I
up on a
already
high.
knew, mate.
Okay, you knew.
You didn't know,
Yeah,
I
didn't
knew.
know. Yeah, fair.
So
fair.
I'm less surprised.
Okay. Well, let's move on away from the dramatics that have been going on behind the scenes and talk about the dramatics that have been happening on the scene. We kick-started this adventure go-karting. Now, there were multiple reasons for this. We thought firstly it'd be a great icebreaker, but also at the start of the trip, a way just to get it out of your system, you know, get the competitiveness, the speed out of the system.
Big crash.
And so I said to Tony, I said, look, you know, these are paying guests. You know, it's about having fun. It's not about proving that you're the fastest, something like that. And Tony, he was like, yeah, all right, mate. Which I knew meant, I'm going to win.
I'm going in.
So would you like to explain, you just talk us through the go-karting experience?
Well, it was actually your fault, mate. The crash was your fault because I had absolutely no intentions or care of any of our guests, whether they was going to beat me or not. They are not the problem. It was you.
Why was I the
You
problem?
was the problem. Because...
I was so fast?
Yes. I was so angry. He had a faster kart than me.
There we go.
Because it's very, very clear he's not a better driver than me. He's just not. He's a bit lighter than me and he had a better kart. The proof was in the pudding when we was on the straight and he just literally drove past me. Like
got
he
a
was...
better exit, mate. I got a better exit from the previous corner.
No, mate, and then you drove off.
So you decided to punt off young Alice. Is that what happened?
No, that is not what happened.
Yeah, so you're getting heckled now.
Poor young Alice was in the wrong place. It could have been anyone, but it was young Alice. Alice, you should have been faster, firstly. I made you faster when I hit you. You went in the wall. And then, so what happened was, I'll tell you what happened. I was trying to catch young Sam here, and I thought, I'm not going to catch him because he's got a faster kart than me. So I thought, I know, the only way I'm going to get him is on the brakes. I probably left it a little bit too late. Sam was on the left-hand side, so Alice moved over a bit to the right into my line, and, I just punted her off.
I genuinely thought, oh my God, he's going to have caused whiplash. He's going to have injured one of our youngest guests. He
No,
did,
I
apparently.
didn't.
It was a catastrophic moment. I went alongside and said to him, I said, what are you doing? A win's a win.
No. Honestly, I felt so bad. I went back round. I even got told off.
Yeah, you got told off. Mate, it was aggressive. It was
very aggressive,
You
and
nearly
I-
killed one of our guests in the first hour of the trip.
I can't tell you how many times I've apologised. Dad wanted to thump me,
Yeah.
which is not ideal.
Yeah.
So I went back round. I got told off for waiting, and I put my hands into the prayer mode and said sorry, probably 25 times, and I've never said sorry to anyone in my life. So I do apologise. So on camera now, I'm sorry for the 400th time.
She looks unconvinced. Yeah, she looks very unconvinced. It was, I think, potentially a typical or a stereotypical way to introduce you to our group of guests.
Hello, I'm Tony. You're going in the wall.
Yeah, literally. You lived up to your reputation. But it was a great way. I thought it was a great way to start the trip. Portimao, fantastic circuit. And then they have this incredible FIM level, FIA, FIM. What would karting be? FIK. I don't know. Anyway, top level karting track.
Yeah.
And it was great fun. I hope everyone agreed. I think we had a bit of a laugh, a good way to get it out of the system, or at least I thought get it out of the system.
And a few of them are bloody quick.
I mean, terrifyingly quick.
Yeah.
I was actually, oh, well, I've got nothing to prove here. I'd prepared an entire speech for the first night, which was like, you guys, look, you know, I've been in a car with Formula 1 drivers, Tony thinks it's Formula 1 driver. Everyone was quicker than us. So I was like, all right,
literally,
well,
yeah, it was at the back.
We're going to have to impress you. Yeah. We're going to be legging it. But no, it was a great way to kickstart the trip and tons of fun. And I think, set up the first day perfectly.
Yeah.
So the one thing which we haven't done yet is tell the audience what cars you and I bought on this trip.
Well, I mean, it's fairly predictable what you brought.
Well, I guess. So I bought the GT3. I suppose that's predictable. I think it's predictable because this is why I bought the car. I bought the car for these kind of trips. I have really only used it in Europe, even though I've knocked up 10,000 miles on the clock, which you think is a disaster.
Well, it is, and it's green.
You like the passenger seats?
And
though?
the seats.
Yeah. So for me, the only other thing is I was potentially going to bring a McLaren 750S. McLaren very kindly offered for me to bring a 750S, which I thought would be great because obviously we're busy on this trip, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're not only leading convoys or in the middle of the pack or what's called chase car, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
But we're also managing routes and sometimes having to call ahead to hotels or restaurants. There's a pigeon currently trying to invade the podcast that everyone's flapping about. Apparently he's a big fan. So for me, it made perfect sense to bring the GT3. It then turned out to be fantastic because of another reason, but tell everyone what you bought.
Well, I bring a 718 Boxster Spider.
I think it's just called a 718 Spider, not to be a dick. But
yeah, but I keep wanting to say Cayman because that's literally what it reminds me of. But it's not a Cayman, it's a Boxster. But it is basically a Cayman.
Same car, right?
Without a roof.
Yeah. So I think it's just the 718 Spider.
Yeah.
Black on black on black, apart from some really naff yellow bits.
Yeah. But it
Which is
just breaks
fine.
the black up. It's fine.
Why did you bring that? Because can we tell everyone you were going to bring the M3 Touring?
I was going to bring the M3.
There's a bit of a support car,
Yeah.
crew car, and we'll get into why that wasn't so necessary anymore in a second. But so the 718 Spider, what you just went free car?
Well, yes, a work car basically, and the M3's mine. I didn't want to ruin the brakes and tyres, so that's basically the reason why.
Now available at $99.99. Gravelwood.co.uk. I mean, to be fair, I've been on many trips with you with cars that you then sold, and I've been amazed by. You've definitely looked after that car a little better than others. So all jokes aside, if you buy a car from Tony that you've seen on a trip, this would be one that's slightly
In better condition.
slightly in better condition than some of the other things that poor people out there have bought, and then 6 months down the line go, why has it got no floor? So do you think it's been a good car for the trip?
It's been more than good enough, yeah. And actually, because of some of the roads that we've done, I'd have been annoyed in the M3 because it would have got too hot after a while.
We did some, because the roads have been super varied, right? We've done some motorway sections or some big road sections, long sweepers, long flow stuff, cobbled old towns, which has not been great in the GT3, super tight sections, big high up national parks. So literally the variety of roads. You think the M3 would have struggled at times?
On them real twisty bits, it would have struggled, I think. And don't forget, it's way faster than that Boxster, especially in a straight line, not corners and brakes.
What M3 Touring is faster?
Yeah.
Fair.
Like, not even a little bit. It's way faster.
Power-wise and straight line speed.
Yeah.
But there have been a couple of interesting cars, so we should get into the other reason why these were the two most appropriate cars for this trip. Inadvertently, this has become a Porsche tour, which maybe we should have suspected or expected.
How many Porsches did we have?
9 out of the 12 cars. No.
Eight out of 11. We had 3 non,
Sorry,
didn't
yes,
we?
yeah, because we had one no-show, but they were going to bring a Porsche.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So the only non-Porsches on this trip were an Aston Martin DB12.
Yeah.
Great shout.
Not really, but okay.
Why not?
Well, it's not for me, that car.
Here he goes. I love this because you are now all witnessing what a piss take my life is. Because all week, Tony's been giving that DB12 half a chance, being quite nice about it. We've all had conversations. It's kept up with Tony's theoretically faster group, although we ended the week all at the same pace. And he's been like, he got in it the first time. I love the way this looks.
Love the way it looks.
Turn the camera on, put a mic in his hand. Yeah, piece of shit.
No, that's not what I said.
Not for me.
That isn't what I said. It's not
Load
for me.
of crap.
That's not what I said either. I said it's not for me.
Well,
You're putting words in my mouth.
You were
That is
insinuating
not,
it's a bad
mate.
car.
The problem is you put words in my mouth. I said it's not for me. That's literally what I said.
Why is it not for you?
Because it's a big front engine GT car.
Okay.
That's it.
I wanted you to say because it's a piece of crap.
No, trying to be diplomatic.
F-Type, DB12, and then, of course, Ferrari 296 GTB.
Which is way too fast.
Quite the hilarious car of the trip. It is one of those cars that I think when we saw it on the list, we were like, oh, good Lord. I mean, big heavy hitter, also with the optional carbon fiber wheels that we saw and we thought, oh my God.
The owner's got way too much money.
Too much money. I mean,
Way too much money.
Some salesman saw him coming a mile off. But no, it's the car that I think all of us, this entire trip, no matter what we're driving, I had this conversation with the group at the table last night. All of us have just been like, what? Can't help but look at that 296. But my point being, the DB12 and the F-Type probably share a similar vibe to an M3 Touring in terms of they're a little bit heavy.
Yeah.
Not necessarily going to have the same dynamic capabilities that all the Porsches that we've bought. So you are probably right because the F-Type has struggled at times. They've driven the tits off. So it's been in the mix and kept up, but I don't think it has a brake pad or disc left.
I think they're gone. I mean, it's new tyres. I told him he'd lost 25 grand.
Easily. But the most stunning
fuming.
colour. Yeah. But it's looked amazing and it sounded amazing the whole trip. So yeah, they Porsches just work on a trip like this, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you sad though that you weren't in your GT3?
Yeah, there were certain roads that I thought, oh, I wish I was in my car now. Like when we was in the national park.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, this is perfect.
Why? What was the 718 Spider lacking?
Power, mate? It's literally
But
got
what's
no
the
power.
power of it? No.
But what I mean is I know that I'm being like poo-pooing it, but it's you come out of a corner and it just goes, whoa. There's no power, mate.
You're waiting.
Yes, and then like right at the top of the revs, when you're just about to get to the next corner, it goes like that, and then you got to stop. We're gone. So I literally
what about the front end?
Yeah, the front end's good. It's okay. It's more than good. I was happy I bring it.
Fair enough.
I had the roof down after the week.
You did. You're working on your tan. You're actually as tan as I thought you were going to be, or as burned as I thought you were going to be. But to be fair, it has been a great car for the trip.
Yeah.
The reason we didn't need the M3 Touring in the end is because of the legends at Deal and Drive Luxembourg. So main channel watchers will know that I visited them a few times before. It's kind of incredible stock. And they were the heroes that lent us our crew car for the Mille Miglia. So when they caught wind of this going on, Julian from Deal and Drive got in touch and said, look, anything I can do to help out. We said, actually, could do with a crew car. So sent along a 540i. Probably one car that makes me, question my Panamera decision. Fully livered up, fully stickered up as our crew car. It took our two amazing videographers, Ben, who actually used to do a lot of editing for this podcast and filmed a lot of the live events, and Sam, and then also your mate Gary.
Yeah,
Gazza.
he was the driver.
He was the driver, designated driver. A bit of a hitman vibe about him, isn't he?
He used to be a bank robber.
He used to be a bank robber. That makes sense.
Yeah.
He's definitely way too buff.
Yeah.
You know?
No, he's put on some weight.
Oh, okay, fair. Well, it was bulking season then. But
He was bulking.
no, the three of them were amazing and that car was fantastic. And actually on Deal and Drive, I literally got a message. Did you know that Toto Wolff helped develop the SL65 Black Series?
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
Did he really?
He did, and as part of that,
Wow.
he bought an SL65, which Deal and Drive have now got for sale.
What, the actual car?
The actual one, and it's got a letter. Let's see if I can find it, dig it out. They've got a letter from Toto Wolff saying,
What, an actual letter?
This is my car. This is my car. You can sell it, and yes, enjoy my car.
Really?
Yeah, hold on a sec. I'm going to read it out to you now. I wanted to drop you a short line. Why am I doing that impression? In relation to your new car and let you know a little more about its history. This is a car that I received from you whilst I was associated with HWA, who obviously helped develop it. As I was a development driver for the SL65 Black Series, this car has always been very special to me. I also wanted to let you know that the car's never sustained any accident damage, nor received any paintwork repairs, or been driven by Tony from Gravelwood Car Sales.
He hasn't put that in.
No. So yeah, I thought it was wild. I had no idea. That's a whole history I don't know. So pretty cool car. Anyway, so shout out to Deal and Drive for being legends, for
How much is
hooking
it?
us up. I don't know, all the money. I don't know. SL65 Black Series, it used to be Toto Wolff's.
Oh, wow.
Cash. But anyway, they've hooked us up, and it's been the perfect crew car for this adventure.
Yeah.
But anyway, you join us, as I said, here in Porto because we have joined the Gathering Supercars event. So because this is a trial, because we're starting this out for the first time, we thought we would collaborate with these legends. So I attended this event for the first time last year. Fell in love with Portugal in general a bit last year.
Oh, you not stopped banging on about this event?
I texted you at the time, being like,
Literally.
this is outrageous. We've got to come back here. And Tony usually hates static car events.
Yeah.
Not usually your scene.
No.
But it felt like a good way to to celebrate kind of the end of the tour in many ways. So yeah, we rocked up here last night, had a lovely dinner, and then today we took our cars for what was supposed to be like, it's a display in Porto. Do you want to explain to the ladies and gentlemen at home what this casual display turned out to be?
Well, it turned out to be that there was about 300 supercars.
And about 6,000 people. We drove into the town. There were people like paparazzi.
Like literally everywhere. Kids on shoulders of dads and even grandmas knocking around.
I think I just a hands up from people in the audience. In general, have you found Portuguese people to be pretty pro cars and pro our tour?
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone nodding and hands up.
Yeah.
It's the thing that really surprises me. It's not somewhere you think of as like amazing car culture. They just don't have manufacturers or brands to like celebrate. Apart from Portimao, you don't hear that much. But that's what blew me away coming here last year.
Yeah.
They love a car. Like they really love a car. And today, leaving this display, it was like a 1980s rally stage. You had these hundreds and thousands of people just flooding onto the road, which was some borderline terrifying at times. Everyone trying to tell you, go faster, leave it. And it's like, I can't because I will kill you.
I can't because I'll definitely lose control and that'll be it.
I'll definitely lose control. But yeah, it's a wild, wild thing. And as I say, we're being hosted very kindly by Andre and his team. So we're grateful to be here. And we've got another day tomorrow. We're going to be driving out with even more cars, doing even more things. And then we're going to be wrapping things up. So what I thought I would do, and everyone here can skip this, but I wanted to do highlights of the week. And I'm afraid there is a microphone here. Just so you all know, our guests are about 17 glasses of Douro Valley wine in now. So if they start going, I really love to play free.
Oh, I love you.
You guys are my best friends. We will edit them out, so don't worry.
Don't
So
worry.
if there's any two responses, that's what's happened. Please all be careful of this elongated microphone cable and your continuous glasses of wine.
How's it going to get right over there?
It will. It's a very, very long thing, but just be careful. We can take our time. I'm afraid, Matthew, we're coming to you first.
You're in, mate.
So let me hand you the microphone first. You don't have to say anything yet because we'll do our highlights first, just to ease into it, and then we'll come back to the group. So, Tony, I'm asking you first, sir. Highlight of the week.
Highlight of my week. I'm going to sound a bit sentimental and a bit, I don't know, like
Loving.
like gooey.
Yeah, a bit
which is
gooey,
unlikely.
lovey-dovey, yeah.
But do you know what? Like, genuinely, I'm not just saying it. The highlight of my week has been meeting all you lot.
Oh.
You've been absolutely fantastic. You've been unbelievable company. It's very, very hard for me to like people. In general, I hate people. I don't like people, mate.
It's true, no, you're a
But
dick,
do you know
yeah.
what? There's not one of you that I thought, oh, I wish they weren't here. You've all been an absolute delight, honestly. Even Phil.
Even Phil. Another in joke, which the group are loving, but we haven't gone to. I think my highlight was actually that first night on the road at Torre de Palma, the wine hotel.
Yeah.
Our sunset drink on the tower.
Yeah.
I think for reasons that will become clear in the main channel video, the start of day one was maybe a little intense. There was a little bit of like a whore. By the time we got to the end of day one, I think everyone had kind of gone, okay, we're not all going to die on this trip. And we all climbed this tower. The hotel said, you must go to the top of the tower for a sunset drink. And I was like, all right, if you think it's a big deal. We climbed this kind of mysterious tower. The staircase has got narrower and narrower and steeper and steeper. And you emerge at the top to this insane 360 view of vineyards and Roman ruins, as we later found out. And we all had a nice time. And I felt like, okay, we're doing this.
I think that's when we all become friends.
I would sort of agree with you. Yeah, no, and still people didn't like you at that point. But anyway. So look, volume up on the old microphone. So,
Not too much.
No, not too much volume. Matthew, I'm afraid pressure is on you. Highlight of the week, sir.
Well, I think the highlight for me and the surprise of the week has actually just been the incredible beauty of Portugal. Like driving through from the south up to where we are now in Porto and just seeing the huge variety of scenery from, the sort of rocky area around the Algarve and then through to the meadows and the fields and the olive trees and the almonds. And I just wasn't expecting any of that. I think the other highlight would be seeing your car in the flesh and seeing that green colour which has grown on me over the course of the week, but also that hideous interior that is just, I mean, it's just so
Well
awful.
played,
I cannot
Matthew.
believe that you
Well
actually
played.
chose that. You modified your car, but those would be my highlights.
You know what I absolutely love is every time I meet anyone with that GT3, the first thing they say is, "It looks much better in real life." And I'm like, well, so it looks crap in the photos then? Anyway, thank you. Great comments. Frank, coming to you next.
I think really it was the group. I like the spirit of the group. We were talking about this the other day. When you meet 10, 12 people and you get together, usually it's the dynamic. It's difficult that it works right from the start. And I really enjoyed that, the camaraderie and getting to know everybody, different walks of life, and that's what I enjoyed the most.
And you know what as well? You've all come from different walks of life, and you've all got different camaraderie, as you said, but you've all got one thing in common. You all love cars. So you've all spent the whole week talking about cars, and that is what it's all about.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of these trips.
And we spoke of other things. I mean, we had the common denominator, but we spoke about other things, and you could just see that the people are interested. You're interested in who you're traveling with, and it was just a great experience.
Yeah, and I think that for sure. A lot of our initial ideas around this was because of the live podcast events and meeting so many of you already at those kind of shows. It made sense. If anything is ever going to be our USP, I hope it's going to be that can continue, and that it's going to be like-minded people who easily get along. Fingers crossed. But as Tony keeps saying, one or two dicks might end up.
Because I've been on so many of them.
Yeah.
I've met a lot of dicks in my time.
You're one of them. Fantastic.
Takes one to know one, mate.
Jesper, coming to you next, mate.
Well, I thought long and hard about it, but I agree to some extent with Frank. I mean, meeting the group was fantastic. A lot of Brits. Took a while to adjust to the licks number in the sentences and so on. But no, it was great. But I think, of course, Portugal was beautiful. The cars were great. It was nice to see that actually Sam and Tony, they are exactly like I expected they would be. 100% authentic, 100% non-political. Yeah, it was beautiful.
100% full of crap.
Nice to meet you guys. Yeah, I would say top 3 experiences in my life so far.
Oh, wow.
my God.
Thank you,
There
mate.
you go.
Thank you, mate.
You got a free space on the next tour, Jesper, for that one. Thank you very much.
No,
I'll
not
hold you
free.
to it.
No, not free. Sorry. That's the yin and yang. That's the business yin and yang. Thanks for backing me up.
Yeah.
Amazing. David, next to you, mate.
I think for me, a couple of things. One is actually getting to drive my car in a place where I can really exploit it. Because I mean, I've had it since I guess pre-winter, and we've had the worst weather in the UK. So actually driving it somewhere where I can actually explore it and exploit it has been super fun. I think the group has been incredible. So I think we've I've met friends hopefully that I think I'll do this again with, which has been awesome, and it's been great to meet you guys as well. So I've had an absolute blast. And also there are times when I think when you're driving, you see a new vista, right? You go over the top of a peak of a hill, and I find myself shouting in the car almost when I'm just whooping to myself, which is the most ridiculous thing. But the vista here is incredible, and you see the most beautiful things. And I think when you're driving a car and you get to see things like that, and you're doing something you love with friends, and that's a really special thing. So it's been an absolute blast.
And you'd have to shout because you drive around with earplugs all day.
Well, yeah,
We spent the whole week going, just David's walkie-talkie.
Every time you tell me to overtake someone, you say it's clear, it's not, and I always hit motorcyclists head on. So I'm just I put my earplugs in. I'm just when I can overtake, Tony. So I mean, it's
We
your
were
fault,
laughing
mate.
about this earlier. Tony's "It's clear if you're quick" is the most terrifying walkie-talkie message that you've ever heard. It's clear if you're quick. We got to work on that for the next trial, mate.
Yeah, because
Oh yeah,
So-
well that's
so
a whole
I'll-
other conversation. But
so I've actually had some compliments this week that my radio chat was okay. So
yeah, no, it is okay. But
Thank you.
I'm just saying that one message. If
you're
you're
quick.
quick means no, don't give that advice. Not clear if you're quick. Just it's either clear or not clear, mate.
just go or not.
Yeah, exactly. Adam, coming to you next.
Day one of driving that morning, I kind of worked out I'd made the right decision. That being able to use my cards to that potential, it was amazing.
Have you done anything like this before?
No, nothing at
Oh,
all.
fair.
Nothing at all. Only track days at home, but yeah.
Are you happy saying what car you bought for the trip?
GT3 RS.
GT3 RS, yeah.
There's
so
no point of having one of those cars in the UK now. I've learnt Tony's right. There's no point in driving
Yeah. See, I told you I'm right. I'm always right.
Oh God. The ego's getting even bigger. But yeah, you're so bang on the money. I think,
Yeah.
once you do these trips, you start to realise, why Tony says that, why my GT3s end up only doing miles in Europe, because it's a totally different driving experience, and it's not just the fact that you're in a different country and so you feel a bit more lawless. It's the fact that the roads are smoother, are emptier, are better visibility. The weather is better. It's dry. All of these things that just allow you to enjoy the car in a way that, sadly, I just don't think we really get that many opportunities in the UK. Obviously, Frank, Jesper, it's been a chance to sort of suss out what driving is like in Europe and the UK. I think you've been less like, wow, this is so unbelievable. But for us, I think that is a big part of it, is getting out of the hellhole where we live.
And actually, the people in Portugal, they're very hospitable to supercars.
Well, that's what we said earlier.
Yeah.
You weren't listening.
They come out the way, and I was listening, mate. They come out the way, they wave. Even the locals, you go through a local village and hello.
Yeah. It's a very good point.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's move on. Dave, obviously,
Big Dave.
Big Dave.
Yeah.
Gave a shout out to the F-Type already. I will freely admit I fettled with your car about 2 days
Oh, you
in.
broke it?
No, I didn't. I just didn't like what I did. About 2 days in, I ripped out the fuse. In a sort of Jeremy Clarkson versus James May thing, I ripped out the fuse for the switchable exhaust. Because I was like, you're just not getting the most out of this car, Dave. And I think the first half an hour, I was like, oh, it's lovely. And then he was like, how do you put it back in? So I'm sorry, let's make sure we do that before the car goes home. But in general, what a driver you've turned out to be. Because to hustle that car, that's a highlight for me, is seeing that car in this group. So thank you for doing that. But what has your highlight been?
My goodness, what a trip. Never done one before. Fantastic group of people. Frank summed it up. Okay, really, really enjoyable social event. Surviving on steel brakes. Anyone who might come on one of these in the future, do not come on steel brakes. It's
flapping. Invest.
It's scary.
If you can't afford ceramics, don't come on this trip.
It's really scary sometimes, and there've been times when the car's given a little bit away, and I've sort of got round. But yeah, getting around the car's good. I think my one highlight that I have to go back to was Jesper's tour. So we got lost.
Oh God! Thought we could avoid this story.
I thought this wouldn't come up.
Where are we going to go? Jesper's in charge. So Jesper went round. Somebody said, Jesper, have you got navigation? I've got navigation. But I haven't got the route in it.
Does sum up Jesper's sense of humour quite perfectly.
Yeah.
We love Jesper.
Yeah.
He's great.
There was a reason for that, which was Tony, who was supposed to be at the back of the group, ensuring that no one. This is day one, things that we've learned from. He goes, I needed a piss.
That's not what I said, Matt. I said I need a wee.
Sorry.
That's very crude, man.
I was so crude. I mean, let's talk about woofters. Anyway, stopped to go to the loo at the side of the road, lost the group, assumed that they would know where they were going, turned up at the lunch spot at the back of our pack. Said, "Mate, where's all your cars?" And he was like, I don't know, I stopped for a beer, I thought they were here.
I absolutely caned it to catch him up. And then I come up behind the main group and I thought, oh,
we're in trouble.
There's like 4 or 5 of them missing. And I said, Sam? He went, yes, mate. And I said, there's about 4 or 5, I don't know where they are. I said, I haven't passed them because
I was
I haven't
like,
seen
oh my
them.
God, day one, lunch stop 1, and Tony's lost 6 of the cars on the tour. Anyway, fantastic. Good, very good point.
Really good chaps. Thanks a lot.
Amazing.
Pleasure.
Thank you, pal. Well, moving on. Richard/Phil. So we can explain the Phil joke now because we're going to call you Phil for this segment. But basically, Tony's useless with names, part of his dyslexia meets dyspraxia, and decided to call Phil for the first one, even though that's not his name. It's not his name at all. So we're sitting at the table going, Phil, how's your food? Phil, you rude bugger.
Why is he ignoring me?
Why is Phil ignoring me? Phil. Everyone was like, he's not called Phil. But unfortunately for the rest of the week, he has become Phil. But anyway, Richard, talk to us. What's your highlight been?
I think let's get it clear first. You were the reason the group got split up on the first day.
Yeah, no.
Thank you very much, mate. I appreciate that.
There's a main channel video coming on.
I can't call it a highlight, but I scared myself trying to keep up with you. Then I found out Mark was a racing driver, and I felt a little bit better about my driving skills after that. I guess I got 2 surprises, really, I think, from this tour, was how quick you two really are. You always talk a good game. Tony definitely talks a good game, but seeing it in real life, proper drivers driving,
Appreciate
fast
that.
But
cars.
safe
It
and
was
sensible, I'm sure you'll say.
absolutely within the speed limits.
Fantastic.
But it was absolutely immense. I think the biggest surprise, that'd be a surprise to everybody, was actually Tony's actually quite a nice guy.
How much did he pay to say that? He's selling you the 718 Spider, isn't he? Yeah.
I would never buy that.
Not now.
But it's a fantastic, fantastic group of people, and trip of a lifetime for me. Don't tell my family. So I've just got back from a great holiday, but this was absolutely epic. Never done driving like it. Probably never will again until maybe the next tour.
Oh, you're more than welcome.
Yeah,
If there is
watch
one.
this space. Watch this space.
But
Do you want to
lovely
tell everyone
people.
what car you bought? Because you bought a proper car.
I bought Turbo S.
Proper car.
I'm not biased, but it was by far the best car here.
Punchy.
Sports exhaust, you just don't need one. You just,
Yeah, you ain't got sports exhaust anymore.
Which was Tony's biggest statement of the week.
But I guess my highlight, apart from the two surprises, was probably me blasting past on the
Oh,
on
well,
the
look,
motorway.
you've preempted what was supposed to be a little bit of a surprise, but we're actually giving you an award, Phil, for most improved driver of the tour. A physical reward will be coming through the post to you post-tour.
way.
Because, I think people at home need to be aware of the fact that day one, I think I did scare the shit out of you. I got overexcited. As I say, more details soon. The pace was quick, and we got to coffee, and you were a bit... I mean, deer in the headlights, I think was the way to explain it. You thought, I think I nearly died just then. And then suddenly, yesterday, we're just cruising on the motorway, and I'm just not even minding my own attention, and this 911 Turbo comes flying past me.
That's
almost.
77.
Well, no, what's the speed limit here? Well, anyway, 2 miles an hour under the speed limit. With basically Richard / Phil basically giving me the 2 fingers. And just like, he's gone. So much so that I thought he was unwell. Like I put on the radar, I was like, oh my God, maybe he's having a heart attack or something, and his foot stuck on the throttle. But honestly, mate, from that day one coffee stop to our sort of final big driving day yesterday, I think the improvement or the confidence that you gained was mind-boggling, because that's a big hefty car and first time he does something like this. So well done. Not that you need us to say well done, but honestly,
Cheers. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So-
Epic. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. I've loved every moment of
Good.
it.
I'm
Every
glad. Now, Alice was a passenger princess on this trip, so
She come in the car with me.
but she came in the car with me too.
Oh, yeah, she did.
And as a passenger princess, you have also been one of the most memorable people on this trip. So you definitely deserve a highlight shout. So what has your highlight been?
Well, I just want to say thank you for the experience, obviously, and Dad, Bank of Dave.
Big Dave, who's not actually big at all. He's just a normal sized guy. He's called Big Dave.
I've had many experiences, wine tours, Liz's guidance through the information about each little town we went through, and obviously being in the cars with you guys. It's luckily Tony didn't cut us both off the mountain.
no.
I think I might have got a bit of whiplash, but
Yeah,
I was
from me,
alright.
you've survived it. You've survived
Yeah,
it. Yeah. No, I
And
think
Sam,
it was.
you're a good driver.
She says with a hint of surprise in her voice.
Tony's a bit, like a hooligan.
A rattle.
Yeah. Well, that was nice and smooth. We had a good time. Yeah, no, well,
Good.
perfect. Well, I see.
Thank you.
You've definitely been.
And I treated you to that toll ticket.
Yeah, she did actually. I owe Alice €1.10. No joke. Dave, come see me after that afterwards. Yeah. Amazing. And then also another passenger princess, but also co-driver. I think we'd have to say so.
Yeah, the drive.
Yeah, probably.
Few
You had many drives.
He
so,
was, yeah, he was quick as well.
Considering that your other co-driver, Richard, is here. Well, he's not here because he's driving.
He's driving.
Yeah. Please, your highlights.
I have had a fantastic week. I couldn't have imagined ever having the opportunity to do this, but I'm
Perfect.
so glad that I did. Getting into the zone on those twisty bits has been brilliant. I think my favourite part of the entire tour, though, was when Phil decided that he was going to take charge of the Jesper tour and encouraged us all to follow him and then burned it through the red light, leaving us all to wonder what on earth was going on. But, meeting everyone has been great. My face has hurt the whole week from laughing and smiling, but it has been absolutely
Do you want to tell everyone what you drove?
DBS, the DB12.
You
like it?
Absolutely fantastic. Incredibly hard to drive.
Yeah.
It is a bipolar car.
Yeah.
It either wants to cruise around town and just be very quiet, or it wants to be thrashed, absolutely thrashed. But it is very capable, very, very capable.
Surprisingly capable.
Yeah, I mean, we have seen the back end of a GT 3 a lot all week. I've been very pleased to be a passenger in it, which has been hard work, really hard work. I think, Alice, you'd agree, as a passenger princess, you are exhausted. Absolutely exhausted, bracing through
I
those
imagine,
parts.
and trying not to vomit.
Yeah, absolutely.
And another highlight I thought you were going to say, or at least a surprise for you this week, is staying up post 7:30 or 8 p.m., which you told us is your regular bedtime.
For real.
And you've been dragged into the evenings by us all, which we apologise about.
No.
Maybe it's been an exciting moment, I don't know.
Yeah, eating past 8 o'clock in the evening is definitely a highlight of the tour.
Never has a parent said higher, more
fantastic.
true words. Well, thank you so much, mate, and it's been an honour to have you all with us. Someone did get a shout out who quietly passed the microphone away from them, so I won't draw too much attention to you if you're not looking to chat. But Liz, you have also been a sensational part of this group.
Fantastic, yeah.
Because you did the one thing which I so wish I had done or prepared, which was provide the most pointless but interesting tourist information as we pass through these regions. I said it to you, I think maybe at the coffee shop, I so wish I could say like, oh, up there is, by the way, everyone on the walkie-talkie, that's a castle from 1400, and you went, oh, I do that all the time. Would you like me to do it? I said, yes, please. And for sure, my highlight was passing through a town that I had never heard of. And on the radio comes Liz saying, this author that I had never heard of, some Spanish man, his great-grandfather lived here and emigrated into Argentina in 1300. I said, their great-grandfather? You went, yeah, and who's the author? I don't know. And I was like, perfect. But this is the information I'm here for. So thank you. As I say, I'm aware you weren't looking to talk, but you have been a key part, as everyone has. And for sure, that's, I think, our biggest takeaway, right?
Yeah.
The cars have been great. You'll get a full rundown in the main channel of all the cars, get to see them all, lots of action to come. But one thing which we look to continue is the people, you know, which I've always been naff and said that, you know, the cars bring us together, but the people is what makes it count or makes it important. And so watch this space. You know, we do plan to do more of these, maybe one more in a bit more trial sense before we launch anything more serious. But we want to do this properly and regularly because I think fundamentally, forget it being a business, we just had a wicked time, haven't we?
Wicked time, yeah.
We've been working hard, but it hasn't always felt like it.
No.
I've been losing my voice because I've been laughing
You're just
so much.
always talking, mate. Get on my nerves. Stop talking all the while. Did you say your highlight of your... Did you say that?
Yeah, up at the top of the tower.
Oh,
Sunset Tower. And we were
That's
just
right.
hanging
Yeah,
out and looking out at the views. I think that was a special moment. And it felt like we were really doing it. Up until that point, I don't think I'd relaxed. Up there, I was like, yeah, okay, I'm feeling like I'm a bit more chilled. So... yeah, look, we're going to draw it to a close there because there's no point in harking on about it too much. It has been, a great week. We will be back in the studio next week. A few things to talk about before I head off to LA. So, California, a Porsche community. I'm coming up for air and water, so stay tuned for that. Let me know if there's anything you want me to check out. I guess we'll be talking about that. No, we've got more time to talk about that next week. So, as I say, join us next week for more regular uploads. We'll be with you audio version Tuesday or Wednesday and then video version on Thursday. And for now, all we have left to say is thank you so much to all of you for joining us for this first ever BTG tour. You have been sensational. You've been spectacular. We hope to see you all back again. We do charge a premium second time round, so unfortunately it's a little bit more expensive. But yeah, we'll draw it to close. So if you want to follow Tony in the meantime, he's at Tony Growl Car Sales on most social media platforms. I'm at Seeing Through Glass. This podcast is at Behind the Glass __ podcast. And I guess stay tuned for the future BTG Tour Instagram. Stay tuned. See you soon. Bye-bye.
See ya.